here. So thank you so much for everyone joining us today. I'm really excited because we're going to cover some really powerful, lesser known hacks in Housecall Pro's Marketing Center, not just in functionality, but also how you are using it and the messaging you're pushing out there. Hacks that can help fill your schedule, re-engage your past customers, and grow your business without needing a huge marketing budget. You already heard me yapping at you, but I'm Jen and I'm located in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been at Housecall Pro for, man, a long time now. I started several years back as an onboarding specialist where I really helped hundreds of pros set up and succeed with our tools. And one of my favorite projects I was a part of was the rollout of the marketing center. So I helped train our very first beta testers and supported pros through each improvement since then. And now today I'm on the business coaching side, which means I get to work with pros every day on strategies and systems to help them save time and grow their businesses. Really exciting to share with you, not just the hacks I've learned from my onboarding experience, but also what I've seen work in real world coaching with pros just like all of y'all. So whether you're in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, or really any other home service, one rule is universal. If you're out of sight, y'all, you are out of mind. So even happy customers may not return if you fade from their radar. It's nothing that you did wrong. It's just simply we are all busy individuals and we forget things that aren't in front of our face sometimes. We have one HVAC business owner who learned this the hard way. He assumed thousands of his loyal customers would remember him, but many had already gone to competitors simply because they just didn't remember his company's name when they needed service again. Really like a timely check-in email, just checking in, or a seasonal maintenance text can re-engage a dormant client before they call someone else. And by reminding clients that you're ready to help, you ensure that it's your name that comes to mind when their next job arises. So you don't want to be this guy in the truck driving past that driveway, seeing the competitor's van in there. So re-engaging folks is how we avoid this. So want to talk about some of, before we get into the hacks themselves, want to anchor on a core strategy, and that is re-engagement. So this means proactively reaching back out to past customers, people who already know and trust you, to bring them back for maintenance, seasonal services, or upgrades. It's really going to be the fastest path to getting folks back on your schedule and to revenue, because you're not starting from zero. So sometimes re-engagement is a direct offer, like it's a seasonal tune-up reminder or an anniversary service check, but it can also be as simple as a friendly touch point. Hey, I just installed a new unit in your home a few months ago. I want to see how it's running. These little check-ins keep you top of mind without feeling too salesy. Now, when you're thinking about how you want to re-engage folks and the strategies that you want to put into place, I've got a couple tips for y'all just to make sure that this is working to your benefit. So you don't want to do what we call list fatigue. And that's if you blast too often to your list, people are going to tune you out. You run the risk of people just straight up unsubscribing from your emails. I'm sure we can all think of a company, whether big or small, that just bombarded us with marketing and you were like, ugh, blocking them. And that's how our customers think too. So you really want to make sure that we're not sending, more than like 1 to 2 max a month. And really even better is to make sure that you're targeting customers based on, their location, their tag, specifics about them, like their lifetime value. That way you can make this messaging relevant to them, which gets into our next point, relevance. Sometimes these generic offers to everyone can miss. So segmenting by those things I just mentioned about really makes this feel like super personal. They don't have to know that you targeted a whole list really simply and then just sent out a bunch. It's going to feel like it's relevant to them, so they're more likely to engage in it. In our typical just re-engagement strategy, we just want to remind them who we are. And really a cool part about Housecall Pro's marketing is that it's going to track the results for you, y'all. These things like the number of jobs booked from a campaign, your open rate, your delivery rate, those are all things that we're tracking on your behalf so you can see what's working and double down on it. If you run a couple different campaigns and you notice one campaign is really having a much higher open rate than the other, take a look at both of them. See what you can tweak to get that other campaign to a higher open rate. If one is bringing you a lot of jobs, great, let's double down on that too. But reporting and tracking exists so we can repeat what's scalable, right? All right, so hack one, and this is more about your messaging. So the first hack is about getting personal, and this just means we're not asking for business every time you guys reach out. What we've learned from our, coaches that we work with, our really successful businesses, and just the data that we've pulled is that really these personal messages, they have a much higher open rate. Jobs are booked at a higher rate for these messages. And it's because the goal is to stay top of mind without feeling like a sales pitch. So I know our gut is to always just be offering something, always be selling. But we want to shift that mindset a bit and start offering our customers, helpful tips. You can see here on the screen, we've got like hope you're staying cool on the right hand side with some tips to beat the heat. Versus on the left, we've just got a big sale one. I'm gonna let you guys know on a secret that you guys might already know, but everyone is doing these big sale ones that we start to gloss over them as consumers. So we're usually just gonna ditch it to the trash inbox. But when you've got something like the one on the right, that's really going to engage your customer, prompt them to open it. So quick messages like tips to stay cool for the summer, reminder to check that things are running properly before peak season, or even like a note about community events you or your team have been involved with. Some of our folks are doing like charity events, they do pop-ups at school carnivals, things along those lines. Tell your customers about that. Customers resonate with personality more than they do just sales. So when you come across as that genuine, authentic person, people resonate with that. And when they have a need, whether it's tomorrow or 6 months from now, you're going to be the one that they remember and trust enough to call. Some of y'all may have used this before, some of y'all maybe haven't, but this is built directly into the platform and it's designed to help you create a polished professional campaign in under a minute. We don't need to be copywriters or spend hours staring at a blank page wondering what to say. You're just going to give it a short prompt and it's going to generate a message for you, complete with subject lines, body copy, and ready to send. And really one of the best ways to use it is actually in combination with what we just talked about in hack one, which is getting personal. Instead of sitting there trying to come up with the perfect, friendly, non-salesy message, you can let the tool give you a head start. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen to show you guys what this looks like in real time. So give me 1 sec just to get exited out of the slideshow mode and I will get into the marketing center. So we're going to take a look at what this looks like. Okay, so we're in my marketing center right here, you guys. And let's say I want to create, a campaign that goes out to my customers. Maybe it gives them some maintenance tips that they can do any time of the year just to keep their system running efficiently. It's not salesy, it's coming off, hey, I just care about you. So we'll create our new campaign. Let's say I've got this draft already. So let's open this up. So I've got my delay here. It's after 2 months or so of doing business with them. I'm going to have an email that I want to send out. So I can click this email and I am going to use this write it for me option. And this write it for me option is available on the text message blast, email blast. And if you have access to our postcard feature in here as well, it's also available for that too. So you can really use this across the board. But let's say I want to, friendly check-in for past customers, include a few tips to keep system running efficiently. Really, you guys can get as detailed as you want in here. Keep the tone warm, friendly, not salesy. And we will hit write it and we're going to see what it comes up with. So what I see a lot of folks do, which isn't wrong, is we put in something simple there, tune-up reminder. But really, like, this can work for so much more than just our simple messaging that most of us are using. So here we go. We've got just checking in, tips to keep your home comfortable. And, it starts with a warm greeting here. We've got a couple tips here. And it's not asking them to like, hey, book more time with us or book another service with us. It's just telling them like, hey, you are a priority to us. And if you ever have a question, you know how to find us. This isn't salesy. This is really useful. And if you don't like what the message says, y'all, this button right there, that's going to regenerate you a brand new message for this. So you're not locked into the first thing that it spits out at you. You can absolutely keep tinkering with it. And you can even come here and say, you know what, let's go back to the drawing board, hit this edit and totally change what you're saying. Maybe you want to like re-engage people and see how that tone changes. So this is just to show you and demo, like can be really powerful when used to its full potential. So really pretty similar message. I didn't change much there, but let's say I wanted to use this. We'll just hit the use this right there. And as we scroll down, we'll have, well, let me first look at this. So we've got our subject line, we've got what our email looks like. You know, our emails are always going to go out with our logo on there. If you haven't used Marketing Center yet, these things in the bubbles are what we call variables. So this is how we make our messaging really personalized without having to type in each individual's customer names. Our system's going to know who this is going to and fill the blanks in. Once you're happy with that, you will just hit the save. And then all that's left is to go ahead and just start your campaign. You'll hit next, preview this, and start that campaign. I've got two-factor authentication on, so I'll need to enter in a code to do that, but that's as easy as Write It for me is. So really cool tool there. Definitely highly recommend if you haven't played with the Write It For Me tool. It can be super, super helpful. We also have some pre-made templates that you can look at too. So if you are just looking for quick content, special offer, maintenance reminders, a thank you. We even have like new service referral or text message opt-in. And for those of us on the paid, if you're not aware of this yet, or I believe this is on the free as well, but as long as you have online booking toggled on and active, you can even add a book now button onto these. So that call to action can be big bubble right for your customers to do. So really a lot of variation that you can do with this. So I'm going to get us back into that presentation mode. All right. So we've got, hack number one. We want to get personal. We want to get connected with our customers. Hack number two is using our AI tools to help craft that message for us. Now, we're going to look at a different concept for our next hack. So this is what we call using your megaphone. So this is going to refer to your email and text blasts. Really, the methods we looked at before, they also can be used as blasts, but they're also really great just to have an automated drip campaign going. So something that's running without you having to do it, prevents you being the bottleneck in your company as far as follow-up. But this is going to be when you're intentionally blasting a message to a targeted list or a large list of customers all at once as a one-time use. So when you want to go bigger, get to people quicker and get them to take action right now, that is really when these methods are going to be a great tool for you. So I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. I love story time or storytelling. So a pro that we know, his name's Joseph, and he owns a fourth generation plumbing business. And he was facing, the usual spring slowdown. His texts were idle, the calls weren't coming in. We've all been there before, right? And he decided to send a simple maintenance reminder text to about 1,300 past customers offering a $49 AC tune-up. He really just wanted to fill up that schedule. And the result was he got 41 immediate appointments booked. And that generated about $8,000 of revenue for him from that single SMS campaign. And the kicker is that many of those customers upgraded to bigger jobs, some over 1,500. So that was all from just one message that he sent out. And that's the power of a blast campaign, you guys. When you need to fill your calendar fast, you can really reach a large group of people all at once and get immediate responses. So now that we've seen how effective it can be, we want to talk about how the blast method works and when to use it. All right, so blast, what is your goal here? Because there is a couple different ways that we can blast our customers in the system. So if you really want that quick action and urgency, like the pro we just spoke about, text messaging is going to be your way to go. Text messages have the highest open rates. We are just living in a world where more people are glued to their text messages than they are their emails, just the fact of the matter. So it's going to give you that immediate reach, really great for concise messaging. Like that example, hey, we're offering $49 tune-ups. Like, give me a call, respond to this text to book now, make it easy for them, have a call to action. Now, if you're more wanting to, deliver some like richer content, maybe something engaging, like a storytelling prompt. Like I've seen some really great ones in the plumbing world where it said like, this pipe almost flooded a $2 million home, and it's more of just an attention grabber. That's going to be a good use for email blasting. It's not necessarily action that needs to be taken right now, but it's more like, hey, we're here, we're helpful. So it kind of ties into our re-engagement as well that we previously discussed. But the biggest benefit is just going to be your speed and reach here. Now, some trade-offs are that blasts can sometimes feel a little bit less personal, so you don't want to rely on these as your only marketing method. Same thing that we talked about with our first hack, or re-engagement as a whole. If you send too many, people are going to tune them out, they're going to unsubscribe. So the key is to use them strategically, not consistently. Like I said, in the marketing center, it can be an email blast, it can be a text blast. You can even do postcard blasts now too. So the channel you choose depends on your audience and your goal. So we're going to walk through a specific text blast tactic and show you how to make it work for you. And yeah, Luke, Luke, you must be the one that you said I onboarded, because I remember you. Yes, you absolutely can. We can target based on, if they've had service before or after a certain date. So it's absolutely doable with our conditional targeting. Also, Rennie, you asked about like the consent. I showed you that consent guide. There's also some great tips about consent in the help center too. So lots of goodies in there for y'all as well. All right, you guys. Well, I sure do appreciate everybody being here today. It was a real pleasure to have you all. If you have any more questions at all, you always shoot them our way. But definitely come check out all our other webinars. They're all super helpful. It won't always be me, so sorry, but you'll get a lot of other really exciting, energetic people to come teach us